As Johnny Damon says yesterday on the Michael Kay show with Don LaGreca, that he would love to be back in New York. His exact quote is, "You guys know that I have tons of interest to go to New York, but I just don't think they'd be interested. I'm not exactly sure what happened over the years or something. They have had plenty of opportunities, and I kept raising my hand, wanting to go back. And hopefully it would be a perfect fit. It always had been. Have me for 6 weeks and then send me off on my merry way. That's fine." Bottom line, Johnny Damon saying he is more than willing to come back, do the camp or do spring training, then play for the couple weeks that Granderson is out. And then when Granderson is back, he is more than okay with being released, taking the veteran minimum salary that they give to players in the baseball. I mean, this really only sparks me two questions that makes me want to ask you, my Yankee fan that is with me in studio every day. Question number one is, why exactly, he says that he's been raising his hands in plenty of opportunities. He's been trying to get back there for years, and they don't seem to want him. What makes you think, unless you actually know, and this isn't just a thought, why don't the Yankees want Johnny Damon back on the team? Before the Granderson injury. So before this became a topic of conversation, why didn't they want Johnny Damon on the team before this?
Why didn't they want Damon? Because they didn't need him before this. That's why they didn't want him. I mean, now there's a need for him. But again, you wonder how much production you're really going to get from him. So it's still like, you don't know. Are you better off using a couple of young kids, giving them some experience? Or are you better off signing a veteran like Damon and bringing him in for the league minimum and, releasing him? I mean, what he's hoping for kind of is just to get on a squad and then see what happens, because you never know. Other injuries may occur. Other things may happen. They may decide to keep Damon and use him as a DH every now and then, or just keep him on the roster for a while. Drop him come playoff time. You don't know. He's hoping to get on a squad. And he knows the Yankees are contenders. He knows they're a good squad. You don't see him lobbying to play with Kansas City.
Yeah,
you don't hear him lobbying to, ooh, can I go to Milwaukee? Can I go to Milwaukee, please? You guys need any help out there? He's played in New York. He knows the landscape. He knows a lot of the players. As a Yankee fan, I'd welcome him back. As an outside, as an impartial guy from the situation, I look at it and I say, is he going to make our team that much better? And I don't know if he will be.
Yeah.
I don't know if he would.
See, to switch over to the next part of this, the idea of this conversation of whether the Yankees should bring him in or not bring him in, Christina in our chat room, Martinez, as well as other Yankee fans that I've already talked to about this, all seem to agree that they much rather just see the Yankees rock with their younger talent and see what they can do for the team than to bring in the 39, 40-year-old Johnny Damon to come play for a couple weeks. And me personally, I actually agree with that. I'd rather see the younger talent, especially since it's early in the year. There's less pressure on these guys to really step up and have these amazing performances. It's not like, you're in the pennant race in September. It's not like it's, October baseball. Like, it's less pressure. I mean, obviously, it's still major leagues. You have a chance to prove you should play. So there's pressure on these guys, but still less pressure coming from the fans and that kind of perspective. And I think that's when you let your young guys go out there and play. If it's a pennant race and you're in September, well, yeah, 39-year-old vet who's been there before, helped us win a World Series, he sounds a lot more appealing in that scenario than he does in this. So I personally like the idea of letting the young guys stay in. Don't worry about Johnny Damon coming in. And, I mean, I appreciate the fact that the guy says he loves our team so much he wants to come back and play for us. But don't really need you right now. I mean, is that fair to say? Even with the injury, you don't really need him?
Yeah, the Yankees don't necessarily need Damon. he's trying to get himself somewhere. He wants to play ball still. Nobody's really been calling him. He sees an opportunity with Granderson going down, and maybe, hey, listen, I can maybe try and get my foot in the door there for a little while, see what happens. Because say he comes to the Yankees, plays halfway decent for the first 6 weeks. You know, say he bats we'll even say 260, maybe 2 homers, a couple of ribbies. Other teams out there that may have other injuries after 6 or 8 weeks of the season, the Yankees may cut him, and the other teams out there may go, all right, well, we'll take a shot on him now.
Yeah.
He's kind of looking for that audition.
Almost like a try. It'd be like a chance for him to display what he's got. I do agree with Christina. I mean, there's as much of a chance as him being a benefit to the team as him all of a sudden becoming a possible liability. You don't know what he's going to be. It's not like teams are just blowing off this guy because he screwed over other teams or he was this shady human being. Other teams are like, you're 39 years old. We've seen what you can do. We have young guys that can pay cheap as all hell too and see what they can do. I mean, what's the difference for us? So it's like the guy never retired, but yet he doesn't have a job. So there's something underlying in that as well, in my opinion. It sort of makes me think I don't think he has the same reputation as Allen Iverson, but I think of like an Allen Iverson where you're like, look, dude, you screwed up earlier.
See, I don't even see it as that. I just see it as he's 39, and you don't see a lot of 39-year-old guys out there with contracts. You don't.
Yeah. I mean, it is sports. You hit that 30 mark, and you're considered to be...
He's almost at the 40 mark.
Yeah.
And 40, doesn't really last in baseball.
No. And it doesn't get many people very excited. So, I mean, look, I will say one thing. Damon, when he was on the last year when he was on the team in 2009, they did win their last World Series. But let's be serious. Are you going to credit Johnny Damon that? I didn't think so.
No.
So it's not like you're sitting here saying to yourself, well, maybe if he comes back, we can make that World Series push. And I think that's your bottom line.
A-Rod, Hideki Matsui had a great postseason that year. There are a few other reasons. I mean, it really wasn't Johnny Damon wasn't the reason. Did he help the team? Sure, but he wasn't the reason they won the World Series. No.
See, and that's there's nothing right now that is. There's no positives piling up on the side of let's bring Johnny Damon into the Yankees, and I think that's what I'm noticing. Like through this conversation, through what I'm seeing in our chat room. Shout out to Christina, voicing her opinion on this one. Is the simple fact of the matter is that there is nothing about him that right now that makes you motivated to want to bring him in to the organization, whether you're a Yankee fan or just the Yankee team in general. There's nothing out there that's motivating you to bring him in. So you obviously aren't bringing him in. I mean, it doesn't seem, from everything I'm seeing on, Twitter and all that kind of stuff, it doesn't seem like the Yankees are showing much interest in him either. So can't really go wrong.